everybody. Welcome to another episode of Glowing Up Latina.
Hello.
I'm Kristina.
And I'm Amanda.
Liana has made it safely to her destination. She is going to have a great time at her cousin's wedding, and we will miss her today.
So I wish I was in Florida with Liana because, I mean, it's kind of warm here in New York City.
It's been pretty nice here lately. Global warming, you guys.
Like if it feels like spring out here. Anyways, let's continue.
Okay, so we're going to try to be more consistent about bringing this particular segment back, our like little interesting question segment. We did it very sporadically last season. I do have a question for you, Amanda.
Okay, go ahead.
What is your desert island song? One song for the rest of your life, nothing else ever again.
Oh my God. Um, oh, well, obviously it would be a Bad Bunny song,
Oh my gosh. You would listen to a Bad Bunny song for the rest of your life.
but there's only one song. It would probably be Ojitos Lindos,
Okay.
because it's upbeat, but not like so like in your face and in your ears that you're like, oh my God, I'm stuck here and this is the only thing I have to listen to. So
Okay.
I feel like it's in kind of in that easy listening genre for me at least.
Mhm. Do
Yeah.
you
How
have
about you?
do you have a desert island like album? Like one album you could listen to? Do you listen to like music like that? Like will you listen to a whole album?
To be honest, okay. I'm trying to think of the last album I heard in full and loved the entire thing. It, I mean, the one that comes, to mind is Bad Bunny, of course, but the one before that, I'm trying to think one full album that I just enjoyed listening to. It had to be Usher's Confession. I don't know why
Oh my
that whole
God.
album. I was so young, but like I had no business listening to that whole album
That is the last album you enjoyed in full.
in full. I'm very much a like whatever's like playing on the radio or like I listen to outside. Like if I hear something else, I'm like, oh, I like that song. And I'll just download the song onto my phone and I'm just listening to that song. I don't like bother into which I should. I don't I don't know if it's like because I don't have the time, but like I don't dive into like the artists like that and listen to all of their songs in one album and listen to the whole thing like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely think my desert island album would be Mac Miller's The Divine Feminine. For me, perfect album, top to bottom. So good.
I'm going to listen to it.
Oh my
I
gosh,
know,
you've
and everybody's
never
listening.
heard it?
And no, and I'm sure everybody's listening to this too, right? And like, what? Okay, Amanda, do you live under a
Oh.
rock? What the hell is wrong with you? It's not that. No, I like Mac Miller, and I like again, I know songs here and there, but again, not listen. I don't like. I don't know. I don't gravitate towards like, okay, let me just listen to this entire album. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And I
don't
think if
know.
I had to pick one song, it's newer. It's from Chloe and Halle, their most recent album they had together. I like Busy Boy a
Mm.
lot. It's very like, I don't know, like not upbeat isn't the right word because it's about a guy that's cheating on them, but it's good. I like it. It's a good song.
It's funny that you bring up like that song's about cheating. I have again no business listening to Summer Walker's Constant Bullshit. Have you ever
Oh
heard
my
that song?
gosh. Yes. I'll Kill You is
No,
another one. Love that song.
yeah. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. I have
No, I
no
think it's
business
Janae
like
Aiko.
I'll kill you. Oh no, I'm thinking about I Hate You. I Hate You is
Oh.
SZA
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. And then None of Your Concern. I have no business liking
Oh,
it the way
none
I
of
do,
your
but it just gives me
concern.
sorry, but it gives me all the feels. I
Oh,
just don't
love it.
know.
When I tell you guys, like I'm an R&B girly, like through and through, love it. That and like country music is like my two big
I know
genres.
those are your things. It's crazy.
Do not ask me to make a party playlist because it's all R&B, and I know nobody wants to
That's
listen to it,
why
but it's good.
that's why I don't like to put my music on when I have people over. When I have you guys over, I don't know who was it at the Halloween party. Somebody was like, Amanda, can we change this? And I was just like, who? Rude. Like, yes, okay, we can change it. I know this is like too sad or like not
No,
what you want to listen
somebody said
to.
it was baby making music.
Oh, so sorry.
Somebody said you put on your private playlist that you have a Constantine.
I get the feeling those are my cousins.
Yes.
My cousins had to say that. Yeah, see, only them. And that's why I was like, "Where's Norin? Norin, you need to get here. Put on your music, sir."
Yes, well, we did have a
Um,
good time at the Halloween party the other night.
we did. We did.
Everybody came
Everybody,
out the other side alive.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm proud of us. I really am. I woke up perfectly fine the next day. I was kind of petrified. I was a little afraid that I was gonna wake up not 100% myself, but it was great.
It
I
was a good
mean,
time. What else did we do? Oh, we Amanda had a costume contest,
I
and
did.
you had a count the candy corn thing. I cannot
Yeah.
get over there was over 700 candy corns in that bucket. I don't understand, but I trust
Yeah, I
Constantine because
didn't.
I know he counted it one by one.
Yeah, he did. I didn't count it. I was at work and he was just like, I'm still counting. I was just like, okay, sir, that's great. Go for it.
What did y'all do with the candy corn?
I still have it. It's in my kitchen, just sitting there. And I'm like, nobody's gonna have this. I don't know.
Do either of y'all like candy corn?
I kind of like candy corn, but like it's like I'm not in the mood right now to have candy corn. It's just sitting there.
That's fair. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever actually had candy corn.
It's it's just sugar.
Mm.
I don't like the like fondant that's on cake?
Hmm.
Like, okay,
Oh, really?
just imagine, yeah, just imagine that. That's exactly what it like the texture is like that, but harder, and it kind of tastes like that.
Ooh, that type of like icing is like too sweet for me.
Yeah, it's like thick and
Hmm.
yeah.
But okay, on today's episode, we're actually so today when we're recording, it is November 3rd. So
Yeah.
yesterday was All Souls Day, and the day before was All Saints Day, which means we were in the middle of Dia de los Muertos. And we're going to be, talking about the history of Dia de los Muertos and also, kind of, I guess, one of the big emotions that you would think of when you kind of think of this. I mean, the holiday it's supposed to be like a happy, like joyous celebration.
Hmm.
But I think for most people, like underneath that is like grief. Grief comes with that as well because you're
Right.
missing the people that you're putting on your ofrenda and the people that are coming back to visit for the night. So we'll be getting into that a little bit as well. But we'll
Yeah.
also be keeping it upbeat as best we can.
Yes. It's like Christina said, it is a joyous occasion to remember your loved ones. So, and as you guys can see, I have my ofrenda in the background, but we'll get into that.
So, in some of this, I knew because I learned like in catechism, and some of it I found out like through my research for this episode. I feel like most people are probably familiar from it from Coco. I feel like when Coco came
Hmm.
out, like it got very like big. Also though, I would like to plug The Book of Life. Very good movie on Dia de los Muertos. So good.
It is a good movie. It's funny that you brought that up because I forget that that movie's out there too.
It's a really cute movie and it doesn't get enough play like Coco does. But I love Coco. It was so good. But The Book of
I
Life
love
just kind of
Coco.
went. I think it was a DreamWorks movie, and I feel like they never, except
It
Shrek.
was a DreamWorks. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So pre being conquered by the Spanish, Aztecs, Toltecs, Mayans, these like indigenous peoples would honor the queen and protector of the dead. And bear with me on these pronunciations, you guys. I watched several videos on how to pronounce it. I think I got it right.
We
I'm
should
sure.
pop it up right here. Beep. And beep.
I'm sure if I butcher it, somebody will let me know. but Mictecasiwaro and Mictlan, the queen of the underworld and the protector of the dead. So they would honor these two deities or beings. And, indigenous peoples held like a very cyclical view of the universe and saw death as like an ever present part of life. So, like, your physical body was no longer on this earth, but your soul was still very much alive, still out there traveling. And because your souls had a continuous and perpetual life, it was believed that your soul would enter different realms and so therefore needed protection, food, and water for your travels, which is why like they would honor this queen and protector so that so that their loved ones' souls may travel safely through the different realms. And then, as we know, eventually, like indigenous peoples were conquered by the Spanish. And so the indigenous peoples' traditions and the Spanish and European like culture and religion were like eventually like intertangled. And that's how you include All Saints Day and All Souls Day. Because if I remember correctly from my research, originally the holiday was celebrated in like August sometime, but All Souls Day and All Saints Day and All Hallows Eve, like they all like the end of November. Sorry, the end of October, beginning of November is when like the Catholic Church would celebrate. So like that's how it got moved to like what we know today.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is very
I
interesting, the history.
didn't know that.
And then, of course, there are like, there's imagery that I'm sure people are familiar with, like the ofrenda behind you. And it's like a temporary altar, a way for families to honor their loved ones and provide them with what they need for their journey. I see you have some pictures in the background, and then maybe some items that belong to the people in the pictures and other objects that served as reminders of them.
Yes.
And then, like for the ofrenda, there are 4 different types of elements. Obviously, the elements of earth, wind, and fire. So then there will be water on the ofrenda, usually left in like a pitcher or a cup, so that the spirits may quench their thirst on their travels.
So I do have water on my ofrenda, but usually I get holy water from the church and I put it on my ofrenda and put it in I put it in like a little
Mm-hmm.
glass so that way like it's for my like I like to think that my loved ones come in and just like drink out of the glass. That's what I
That's
do.
so
So I make sure
cute.
I put the water there. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then the other is wind, which is usually represented by the like colorful paper that you'll see, papel picado. And it usually has like very intricate designs cut into it. I know it was definitely featured a lot in Coco. Like you saw a lot of those like
Yes.
hanging in the movie.
Yeah. That I'm gonna do next year. I did not have enough time to go and get me my um the papers, like
Mm-hmm.
the what's it called? Papel picado?
Mm-hmm.
What's Yeah, I didn't get to do that. So next year. Next year I'm gonna probably do that. And put it usually people like put it like either like going across your ofrenda or over your ofrenda. I've seen it like with other family members. So maybe I'll play around with it like next year.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know that's what it represents, the papel picado.
The
I
wind.
always just thought like it was just like what yeah, I always just thought it was just like decorative. I did not know that that's what it meant, wind.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm definitely gonna make sure I incorporate that.
I mean, well, this is also just like somebody's interpretation. Like I'll link the sources in the show notes, of course, but obviously, like because this celebration is so old, like there are different varieties, different ways you can do things. I know that like a lot of people from like our generation are taking things and kind of making them their own. So, everybody does a little something different. And then the next element is earth, which is usually represented by food, and bread typically. I know sometimes I see like pan dulce on ofrendas and love it, my favorite. But also particularly pan de muerto. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that, okay, so it's round, right? And then it has like there's like X in dough, and then it'll
Like
have like it's
they're
supposed to
like a
look like
little
a skull.
twisties.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
supposed to
so
look
hold
like a
on.
skull.
So this year my then she made pan de muerto and she made me mine. And oh my God, some ASMR stuff right now. Sorry. But yeah, but what Christine was talking about, yeah. So like so for those of you guys listening, my cousin did make a pan de muerto, and it does look exactly like what whoa, Constantine's in my head. It does look like what Christina was describing just now, where it's just like a wow, round bread, and it has like twisties like on the going on this like on the sides of the bread with a little like I don't want to say like a knob, but it does look like a knob, like a
Yeah.
little bolita in the middle. And I did not know that it's supposed to represent skeleton. I just knew it.
Hmm.
I always knew it as pan de muerto. So yeah. But I can't wait to have this once I take down my ofrenda and try it. But yes.
And then the last element we have is fire. So the candles, are usually how the fire is represented. And so the spirits can find their way to the ofrenda, to where they need to go to spend their evening. And I know I read that, like, and we'll get into it here in a minute, but like fire
Mm.
is supposed to like lead them there, but also the flower that you have there in the back, it's a type of marigold, I believe.
Yeah, so I have marigolds. You can see in the back here. Oh no, let's go this one. I have marigolds here. I like to mix them with white flowers just because like it's like the like Halloween type colors and I like to like mix it up, but I do try to get the marigolds and the fire, I make sure that I leave candles out and I
Mhm.
let them burn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see
Right
you
now
have
you can't see
your
them because it
well,
go
I
ahead.
see you have your Jesus candle back there. My grandma used to give those to us all the time.
Yeah, I have my Jesus candle here. My Sacred Heart of Jesus candle here. And then I have another one, a plain one here somewhere right behind me. But they burned out, so I need to replace my candles with new ones. But I also put my electric safe candles so that way if I do forget to turn off the candle, I have electric candles on. Yeah. I try not to play with candles too much. Yeah,
Candle safety is very important.
exactly.
And then sometimes ofrendas can have levels, which I didn't know. I know, like, I hate to keep bringing it back to Coco, but like in Coco, there's multiple levels to their ofrenda. And so, like, 2 levels usually symbolizes the earth and the sky. 3 levels could symbolize heaven, earth, and purgatory. And then the 7 levels would signify the 7 realms that the spirits enter into in the afterlife, or the 7 steps to the afterlife. I saw either or.
Wow. I'm learning so much. I did not know that. Oh, I just always did across a table. We had a table. If that table was free, nobody's no. We also knew don't use this table. You're gonna put the ofrenda. Don't use it. So yeah. But ah.
And then the other type of symbolization that I'm sure a lot of people recognize from Dia de los Muertos is the cempasúchil flower. That, it's a bright orange. Like, it's supposed to be very fragrant. Another way that the spirits are supposed to be able to find their way home. And again, to bring it back to Coco, like you see them in Coco, like they're all over that bridge that they're walking on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it is usually left like on ofrendas and on the loved one's grave. And then the last symbolization that we'll talk about is the Katrina, which, okay, so I didn't know this, wasn't necessarily like original to the like celebration, to what the Aztecs had envisioned. It started actually as a political cartoon during the Mexican Revolutionary War by Jose Guadalupe Posada.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be a commentary on the hypocrisy of the rich. So basically, like, no matter how much you have, no matter how much money, no matter how much clothes, jewels, like rich, fancy things you have, in the end, we're all going to be skeletons. We're all just dead in the end.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes a lot of sense on why they're dressed so proper, and they have these like big like lavish hats, so the
Mhm.
Catrinas, and then like their gowns are so um like big and embellished, a lot of embellishment on it. So now that I can see how you got a Katrina, but you made sure the Katrina was like she just looked, rich and wealthy, but there goes the two. We're all gonna end up the same way at the end.
Mm-hmm. And then it became popularized kind of because of Diego Rivera, who used the Catrina imagery in a mural in the historic center of Alameda in Mexico City. And he painted himself as a boy next to a Catrina, and Frida Kahlo is also in the mural. I saw it. It's very pretty. I mean, I wasn't in Mexico, but like I saw a picture of it online.
I'm looking this up later.
So yeah,
Oh.
but I thought that was really interesting because I did not know like that's where that came from.
Mm.
And I mean, it does make sense because like even now, so a couple of the articles that I read were talking about how like, the dress and the like heavy embellishment, like you were saying, is like, oh, party,
Mhm.
celebration. But the smile on the Katrina's face is like, oh yeah, like don't forget, like we're all going to die in the end. So it's better to like accept death for what it is instead of like
Mhm.
grieving. So
Right.
it's hard. Like it's you're sad when people die. Like I don't know what to say. But yes, so that is what Dia de los Muertos is. The only thing that I realized just because of your ofrenda now that I left off is
Yeah.
the calavera. Do you know the meaning behind
The
it?
sugar skulls.
Mm-hmm.
So the meaning of the sugar skull is it represents each loved one that's passed away. I only so I only have two of these, and that's because like I found them, or three of them, and that's because I found them at Walgreens. My my mom has the actual sugar skull,
Oh, okay.
like made out of sugar, and they're so beautiful the way that they make them at like your local Mexican store, like they sell them, and they put little sequins on them as like the eyes. They're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to like represent the eyes, and they like design the sugar skull with like all these little different designs on the skull. It's very beautiful. But my mother took them, so I don't have them. I just I do with what you know, I make with what I do, or I do with you guys
I
know what I
make
mean.
do with what I have.
There you go. I make do with what I have. So yes. But imagine this. I'm holding my sugar skull, and it has like all these little nice designs across on the face. But where the eyes would be, they're like little like sequins would be here. And all this would technically be like hand painted and drawn on the sugar skull. It's beautiful. Some of them are made out of sugar, and then the other ones are made out of chocolate.
Oh wow.
We were never allowed to touch it. I was never allowed. No, that's not
That's
for you. You can't eat it. No. Yeah, but she took them.
So for the most part, celebrations will begin on October 28th and go through November 2nd. And each day is dedicated to a different time of death or a different type of deaths. People who died in accidents or children who died before being baptized. All Saints Day is usually for children and, saints, anyone who's led a pure life. And then All Souls Day is usually, for all adults to come back, which I didn't know. I didn't know that. That was really interesting to find out.
And I just found out this year, actually, there is a day for when your pet passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and I have that here in this corner wait, on my left. I could never be a weather person. Don't ask me to be a weather person, guys. Anyways, on the corner, here on my left, I have a little doggy skeleton. Hold on. There's a doggy skeleton. And I put him and along with other pictures of the dogs that in the family that passed away, and we put a little bowl of water, and I put some dental sticks on the table so that way they have something too for when they come. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Amanda.
I make sure we yeah. Yeah. And this one is supposed to be like my mom's dog when because she also had a Cocker Spaniel. So I have a statue. Sorry, for those of you listening, I have a little statue here of a Cocker Spaniel with wings, and I kept that one for my mom's dog that when he passed away like years ago. So yeah, we put it out for everyone, family members, the dogs, your
Oh my goodness.
mascotas. Yeah, yeah. I put out a bowl of water and little treats out for them.
That is so cute. Okay, so since you have your ofrenda up, I'm assuming you celebrated Dia de los Muertos growing up.
I did celebrate Dia de los Muertos growing up. I can remember as far back as a kid, when I knew Halloween, when we were going to celebrate Halloween, I knew Dia de los Muertos was coming right after it. And again, I'm like a kid. I must have been like 6 already knowing like what the whole holiday, why we were celebrating it. And my parents made sure, my dad especially, made sure that we got all the things ready. We prepared for Dia de los Muertos. We got our ofrenda ready. We made sure we got the our flowers, our pan de dulce, and then other things, our pan de muerto, and other things that we put on the table for our loved ones. Like we made sure that we put like things that they enjoyed having while they were with us. So yeah, so we celebrated my grandparents, even my grandparents, my grandmother. I know she has her ofrenda up. My aunts, and uncles on my dad's side. I remember seeing their ofrendas at, during this time of the year. It's just a great way to, we always remember loved ones, right? Every day. But it's nice to have like a good a set of days to like really commemorate and remember them and think that they are coming into our homes to
Mhm.
see us and visit us. So yeah.
Bro, that scene at the end of Coco where Mama Coco is just happy and like dancing with everybody, I was like, I can't do this. I cannot keep living like
That
this.
that is what that's what we like to think. And my mom, like my parents used to set up the ofrenda in the kitchen. There's a part of the kitchen where it's just like you could put like a little dinette, and then there's the actual kitchen with like the stove and the fridge. So the area where you could put the little dinette, that's where we used to leave our ofrenda. And my mom used to put, and my dad too, they used to put the chairs in the dining room in the kitchen, and they would have the chairs facing like at an angle facing the table, as if they're coming in to sit down and have, what we leave on the table. Like we
Oh.
like to think, yeah, I remember that. And it looks so beautiful at night, your ofrenda, because you have the candles lit up. So
Hmm.
when all the lights are off, I think I don't know, like it's just beautiful. I love my ofrenda. Loved it growing up. Yeah. And used to help my parents set up the ofrenda.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't celebrate it as a kid or growing up at all. It's only in this last couple of years that like I wanted to. My grandpa Chevel, who passed away when I was like in first or second grade, like I remember that because like, oh my gosh, I feel like my family's so good at keeping his memory alive. Like I didn't grow up with him, but I feel like I grew up like knowing him. Like I know so much about him because everybody like keeps his memory alive, and like it hurts that I didn't get to experience that. And that's always hard too.
I definitely feel that one. As you can see here, my ofrenda, this good looking man here. That's my grandfather, my dad's dad. And although I never got to meet him, he had passed away way before I was born. My oldest cousin and on my dad's side of the family, I want to say she was kind of the only one who really got to experience him like and get to know him and his character. And everyone like like you said, like everyone like in your family continues to keep his like memory alive. Like at least I know in like my family there was nothing but they continue to keep my grandfather's name going, and they have wonderful stories about him and how much how much he was like just a helpful man and friendly and a kind heart, a big heart. And it is sad that you don't get to, get to have, you didn't have the opportunity to get to know them and experience them the way others were able to. And, you know, but I do like to think that, again, he is like a guardian angel and that, he is watching over us. And, oh, we're trying to make this happy. We're trying to make this happy right now. This podcast, this episode is supposed to make us happy. But when you have family members who can continue to, keep that their story going on, keep their history going on, it doesn't fade out. You don't forget about them. So,
No, and even
man.
though like I didn't get to like experience him, I feel like I know him, and I feel the same way. Like I feel like my grandpa Chavo is like my guardian angel. I have his, I don't know if you like grew up with this story, but I grew up my family telling me that like I have a devil and an angel on my shoulder, like on my left side is my angel because I'm left-handed. That's probably it's probably right for everybody else, but I'm left-handed, so my angel's on my left. And you have your devil on your other shoulder, and they're always going to be talking to you. So when I got older, I have his birthday tattooed on my left shoulder because he's my guardian angel. And on my graduation cap, people have been decorating their graduation caps. I have a
Mhm.
picture of us when I was really little. And I would hate to make it seem like I don't have any memories of him. I do have like one. It's very silly though. And he used to tell us, like, I don't even know what we were doing, but he would tell us things like, don't be a tonto, graduate pronto. like like that has always like really stuck with me.
I love that one.
And then he worked at a paper company, and he used to bring like just like these like big pads of paper home, and I would just be drawing on everything. Like, so I do have like some stuff that I remember about him. Yeah.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, he used to love to listen to the Cumbia Kings. And for the
Get
longest time,
out.
and yeah, for the longest time, I had this song in my head that I was like, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know why. Like, I don't know this song. I don't understand like why it's stuck in my
Mm.
head. And then one day, like I woke up and it clicked, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I swear, I was looking for the song for so long, and then finally, like I think it was my mom who like finally told me the title,
Mhm.
but it's Boom Boom by the Cumbia Kings. And like when I like it just I was so happy the day that like I found it and like remembered it, because like I can't like form the memory of like when it was like playing, but it's there. Like it's somewhere in there. And yeah, so that was a really exciting day
Yeah.
for me.
I love that for you because it's like he was like visiting you and he was just like, hey, here's a little something extra to like, feed your brain and keep it with you now. Now go with it. You know what I mean? Like I do believe that they come and visit you in your dreams too. They send you messages
hmm
from beyond. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. See, I told you guys it was gonna be happy. It's a happy episode.
But I was gonna ask you actually, Christina. So I know you said you don't, well, you've never celebrated it, but do you happen to know like other family members around you who kind of like who brought it up or like kind of celebrated it or did something?
I don't think so. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like one of the reasons that like it's not actively celebrated is because, like I was saying with my grandpa Trouble, like it's a continuous thing throughout the year that gets like brought up. I don't know. I feel like I remember these people very frequently. I next year I do though. I do want to do it, and because I don't know, I think you shared it actually today on your
Mm.
Instagram, where it was talking about like, when your parents immigrate over here and then they try so hard to assimilate, and then you
Mm-hmm.
lose like pieces of your culture,
Yes.
and now
Right.
like people in our generation are claiming those things back.
Yes.
Like maybe I
Yes.
don't know how to like actually like quote unquote properly celebrate Dia de los Muertos.
Mhm.
So maybe like I don't know how to do like I know like the way I'm pronouncing it is like kind of funny. Like there are those things happening, but I am finally in a place of like acceptance. Well, like I grew up this way, but you know what? I want my kids to grow up more in their culture and I want them to like really have like just feel it. You know what I mean? If that
Yeah,
makes
that's wonderful. Yeah. It's never too late to want to do, be in touch with your culture. But you know what? But that's what I was saying before. Like we we think of our loved ones who've passed away every day, right? As long as we continue to do that, we're gonna continue to keep, their memories alive and keep them alive in our hearts. Um, so yeah, like uh, go for it, man. Next year, do your ofrenda, I want to come and help.
yeah,
I want to come and help.
it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. I know because I saw
Yeah.
somebody like making theirs, like making the like arch and stuff on like TikTok.
Yeah.
It was so pretty.
People go ham. People
Mhm.
go ham. Like, see, this is very like low key, and but I've seen like with balloons and everything. I'm like, I wish I was that creative. Next, who knows? Maybe next year too. Maybe next year I'll
We'll just
just,
make them together.
yeah, right.
So, to wrap us up in this lovely conversation, you guys, Amanda, who was on your ofrenda this year?
Okay, who was on my ofrenda this year? So I always have my grandfather, my dad's dad, right here. And then because we're adding on to the family, Constantine, I did add his great grandfather and his grandfather, great great grandfather. I did have a picture of my great grandfather, my grandmother's dad.
Okay.
But again, my mom took the picture because, she has her own ofrenda because she moved out. So she has the picture of my great grandfather, Amado. That's his name.
Mhm.
And then she also has a picture of my great grandmother, Antonia. That's my grandmother's mother. And yeah, she has a picture of them. I don't have the picture. She took them, but does not mean that I do not put anything on my ofrenda for them. So I made sure I put out a certain amount of glasses for everyone who I make sure to commemorate. So I have how many? I have 6 glasses of water out, of holy water out. So 2 for Constantine's grandfathers, 1 for my grandfather, my dad's dad, my great grandparents. That's 5. And then I put another one out just for other family members that I know who've passed away. I just don't have enough glasses, but that's for them in general. My doggies, our old dogs that passed away. We must have had like a total of 8 to 10 dogs in the family.
Okay. I thought you were going to
Like
say you and your
like
mom.
no, no,
Like,
like no, 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 no. Like that have like been in the family.
okay.
Like my aunts and uncles who've owned dogs. Like it
Mhm.
had to be like 8 to 10 dogs total. Um And then who else? And I put out apples because my great grandmother liked the Granny Smith apples, the green ones.
I love those
She
ones.
liked those. I put yellow apples out. I put some pears. I put a little thing of grapes here, a little bowl of grapes. I also put I left out some sweets for them. And for Constantine's grandfathers in particular, they like chocolate. So
Mhm.
I put like their little European chocolate that they enjoyed. So I put that there somewhere.
Oh,
But yeah, that's who's on my ofrenda this year. I need to get pictures of my great grandparents. I'm missing that. My mom has them. But what you were saying about your grandfather, your grandpa Chevo, I like to thank my great grandmother, Antonia, but my mom calls her Antonita. I like to think that she is also like my guiding light. I like to think that. So, yeah, I wish I got to meet her too. But my mom said, from what my mom said, she was a very like strong-willed woman. Like she didn't take anybody's shit. She was just very, very, what's it called? She didn't conform to what a woman, what a mom and wife should be back in the day. She didn't conform to that. She was very much her own person. So yeah, maybe that's where I get it from. It's not a bad thing, but
Oh, I love that. That's so nice. Oh,
if
next year. I'm gonna have one next year.
yes, so like okay, so if let's say this year, let's say if you had an ofrenda this year, who would you put on your altar, on your ofrenda?
Oh, I would definitely put our dog Jay on it. We lost him. Oh my gosh, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Three, I think.
Hmm.
3 years ago. And oh, that was so hard. I hated that. Um, my grandpa Trevor, obviously, my
Hmm.
grandma Victoria,
Hmm.
um, my grandpa from my mom's side of the family. Yeah, and then there are some friends that I have that have passed away. I would put them on there as well. People that have made an impact on my
And
family.
you're right. There you
So
go. Yeah.
yeah, but next year I'll
Oh,
have one next year.
oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that too.
But yeah, you guys, I hope everybody had what did we say? A safe and sexy Halloween. Everybody, got to put up their ofrendas or celebrate however you celebrate. And if you do celebrate Dia de los Muertos, let us know who was on your friend ofrenda. And remember, you can catch us next Wednesday wherever podcasts are available. And don't forget, we have a YouTube channel. You may get a video coming soon. Who knows? So be sure to subscribe. And
Exactly. You don't want to miss out.
you do not. You don't, because we're a ton of fun. And spread the word, share the episode, leave us a very lovely review on Apple Podcasts. We love that.
And then you guys can find us on Instagram, like Glowing Up Latina. Continue to like our posts and send us your feedback at glowinguplatina@gmail.com for any topics of interest. The Q&A, come on guys, send in those questions for Q&A. I know it's early in the season, but we still want to see those questions come in. And then if you want to share how your ofrenda looks like this year, you can also email that to us. Send us a picture of how you styled up your ofrenda. I've seen a couple of ofrendas on Instagram from other accounts, and I think they're just so beautiful. And everyone's like everyone's is different. Everyone puts like different things on their ofrenda. So please share that with us if you'd like.
Yes, please do. And until next week, keep glowing, mija.
Bye guys.